chilling in Alaska, swimming in Atlanta, vultures out in Beemore, they Kira, Carolina, they wildin' in Chicago, howling down in Big D, Mile High in Denver, that Tallahassee pride is deep, they lunching in Vancouver, Desperado shooting, the renegades on the loose, the hyenas looting, gold out in QC, who higher than them sparrows, the Furies swooping in divine order for the pharaohs, Indy on the rise, the sharks about to mash, gladiators, knights and Aztecs about to clash. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party. First and 10, I'm so aggressive. The end zone, the game plan, no pressure. They gotta pay me how they measure me. You know these haters on my back like the referee. You know I'm in it to win it. Game day, I'm about my business, I gotta get it. So I'm all about my ends. And these non-stop wins. They can't touch us, can't touch us. We turning up on these suckers. You know the D brought the rockets. Cause we tighter than the huddles. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party. Yeah. Third down is going down. Round the pound, oh, we gotta air them out. That's why I gotta hit the route. Hit the flat if I catch it, then I'm out. 40 inches gotta take. YOLO, just no pump fake. So tighten up and hit the power high. The outer blow to draw them off sides.
Ryan Michaels gets a block midfield. Ryan Michaels, he could be gone. Trying to be comfortable behind, he will not. Touchdown, Houston.
Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party.
Jay Ayola shakes it. Oh my goodness, Ayola gets away. Jay Ayola on the first play for Tallahassee is going to score again. Left side, Odom gets away. Odom breaks another tackle. That's Odom, you've got to be kidding me. Big chase, 10-5 touchdown. Oh my word.
And with that, welcome to Canada Field in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Kevin Irvine, alongside Stephen Mullenax. Stephen, how you doing tonight?
Hey, it's a wonderful Friday night as long as the SFL is on the airways. I'm excited to get this matchup between the Chicago Wildcats and Vancouver Legion. Get that going. You know, these are two teams that are looking and searching for their first win of the season. Here's a spoiler alert, everybody. Somebody's getting a W in this one.
0-1 versus 0-2. Chicago just eager to get back out on the field after a week 2 bye. The Cam returns. It's Friday Night Lights here on Twitch. Coin toss. Take it away, Mr. Official. First time you'll be right all night. Probably the last. Vancouver wins the toss. That's Major Key at midfield. Settle in to our broadcast. Vancouver will receive the opening night kickoff. What up? The ball's on the tee and the hand is in the air. Chicago Wildcats, kick it! We're underway. From the 13-yard line, this is Cade Stevens. A return out to the 29. And out comes Mark Biddix, the former Carolina Skyhawk. So many Carolina Skyhawk ties in this game tonight.
Yeah, a lot of connections with Carolina here. Both the owners of each one of these teams, both the Shann Varner and Andy Hamilton, both started in Season 6 together in Carolina under well-known, well-respected owner James Klein. So these two going head-to-head for the first time.
Vancouver starts with 3 receivers, 2 in the backfield. The handoff goes to Cody Hill, and Hill cutting right before Clint Hendershot drags him down. It's a pickup of 4 for the Legion, dressed in blue and white tonight. Chicago in the gray helmets, white pants and white jerseys with orange and black trim.
And a little bit of an unusual offense here in Vancouver. They have both a star running back and a star fullback. Be really interesting to see how that combo fares tonight.
2nd down and 6 at the 33. And Biddix will quickly throw it out to Jonathan Sanchez, who moved from running back to fullback, and that brings up a 3rd down and 5 here early on. That tackle made by Robert Boucher Jr.
Well, if you remember, Cam, Sanchez was the main focal point of this offense last year as a running back. They've shifted him to fullback now, still showing that he can make some plays as a receiver out of the backfield.
3rd down and 5. Look at this lineup for Chicago defensively. 4 receivers and quick slants and firing over the top of the defense. The pass is caught at the Chicago 40. Looked like the Wildcats were caught in some goal line defense there. Cobb with the reception, and Hamrick makes the tackle.
Well, that's a dangerous position to be put in. Cam, you perfectly pointed that out there. And Mark Biddix, the veteran 3rd-year quarterback, is going to notice that formation and makes the right adjustment, makes that little lofting pass for the 1st down.
Hamrick saved the touchdown. Now 4 receivers for Biddix. Chicago showing blitz. They back off, rush 4. Biddix going long. Pass is caught in coverage. Hamrick with another tackle. But Blake Killian, who had the first touchdown of the season for Vancouver last week, catches the ball for a 1st down.
Well, Killian kills opposing defenders. 16 catches, 183 yards, and a touchdown on the season. He's been their biggest offensive weapon. He shows you why right there.
4-3 look for Chicago. Not quite sure why they came on that goal line look on 3rd down. Biddix going to fire it quickly again. That pass is caught on the far sideline out of the 9-yard line. Pickup of 6. And Trevor Farrell makes that reception. And Mark Biddix looks very decisive here on this opening drive. Looks like they may have scripted this first series.
Yeah, and it's scripted perfectly. This does not look like the Vancouver team who ranks last in points per game right now, 9.5 per game. This looks like they're firing on all cylinders right now.
It's the start of week 3 here in the Simulation Football League, and Cody Hill looking for room, and instead it's going to be dragged down by Dylan Rowland, the 5th-year linebacker in his first season with Chicago, formerly recently of Atlanta.
Yeah, Dylan Rowland's really jumped around the league, a journeyman linebacker, but always produces no matter where he's at. 9 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and half a sack in that first game against Atlanta.
So another 3rd down and 5 at the 11-yard line. They're going to hand it off to Hill, and Cody Hill is going to be dropped by Rowland right at the line of scrimmage. They may have given him a half a yard, but Rowland, with back-to-back tackles in Chicago, gets a red zone stop after putting themselves in a hole 2 weeks ago against Atlanta at home.
Well, really questionable call there. This series has been successful through the air. Just surprised they call a run on 3rd and 5, just trying to get Chicago maybe it's seeing a formation that they like, but they'll settle for 3 here and take the early lead.
Whoa, snap, and the kick is blocked, and the ball is loose, recovered by Vancouver, the 21-yard line, and the recovery was by Tavon Boyd, but the field goal from Eric Walsh is rejected, and Chicago gets a surprising opening drive stop.
Well, that's a gimme field goal that Chicago's special teams unit just comes out and blasts away. Man, what a nice game changer here early in the game for the Wildcats.
Turn it on, leave it on here. Friday Night Lights on the SFL network on Twitch TV. And Jake Calvin Kim, the former member of the Pride, picks up a first down to the 31-yard line. That's a really good start for Jake Calvin Kim, who has struggled since coming to Chicago.
Yeah, it looked good as a dual threat last week. Cam, 55 yards on the ground, 13 receptions for 58 yards through the air. This is a guy that's equally balanced and good through the air or on the ground, but like you said, has had some struggles here in Chicago. This could be, though, the season where he picks up and looks like that old Kim that we've known from the past.
So first down and 10 at the 31-yard line, 6:45 to go after Kim's 10-yard scamper. This time Kim is going to be dropped for a loss. Markham Lopez, who had a nice interception on Ron Cochran last week, makes the tackle, loss of 1.
Well, Markham Lopez, a name that I think everyone is familiar with if you were paid attention at all to the draft this offseason. This guy was a guy that really fell down draft boards, picked in the second round, a really great gem and find by the Legion.
3-2 look out of Vancouver's defense. E.T. King on 2nd and 11. All kinds of time. Check down Kim. Kim stood up in the line of scrimmage and then blown back by Frank Champion. Also in the vicinity, Xander Mack. 5'11", 205, free safety, and now it's 3rd and long.
Well, Champion is really the quarterback of this defense, playing inside linebacker, 6'4", 245 pounds. Already recorded 17 tackles and a tackle for loss on the season.
69 viewers and counting, trying to make it 7 straight games over 75 average on the Twitch channel, as Kim is slowing down and going nowhere. Chicago involves Jake Calvin Kim on all 5 of their first plays on their opening possession. It ends in a punt.
Yeah, and that was a broken play there. Design screen, but it just looked like a Vancouver defender got into the backfield so quickly that it forced the quarterback, E.T. King, to throw that ball out to Kim just a little bit earlier, and the play just never had a chance to really develop.
Halfway through the first, both teams getting a stop on their opening possession. Chicago of the block kick variety. This is Cade Stevens on the return. Look at Stevens, has some room to run all the way out to the 41-yard line. With 5:22 to go in the first quarter, we're still scoreless. Hey, Bits Give Back. We said we would do it, and we're keeping our word. These were the members of the SFL community that donated at least, or cheered at least 300 bits to the channel during broadcast last week. A special shout out to Plague 7, who also donated 4 Tier 1 subs, 3,000 for Plagues, 1511 for Look Alive, Pure 2K12, Crash Combs, DR Sim, all with 1,000, and we'll continue to recognize those individuals all night long as Biddix throws a quick slant for a 5-yard pickup out to Farrell for his 2nd catch of the night.
This is what you want to see out of this Legion's offense. They've fared really well through their passing game, and they ran just a little bit too much on that first series, maybe learning their lesson a little bit here, going with the hot hand and looking towards Biddix more.
Scott LaRue's on stats tonight. Mark Biddix is a perfect 5 for 5 to start the ball game. Handoff, Sanchez, fullback, running right, and then Jonathan Sanchez is stopped mid-sentence. A pickup of just 2. The tackle made on the outside by Jesse Vick.
Well, obviously, Sanchez, to me, looked like he had a wide open hole down the middle. Saw something in his peripheral vision there and caused him to try and take the ball to the right-hand side where a defender was waiting for him. So I think he just maybe saw something that adjusted his play. He could have had more yards if he just went straight ahead. Vick's
a big corner, 6'3", 208, the 5th pick in the rookie draft, as Sanchez picks up a first down to the Chicago 47. And back to Vick, you know, he was kind of a surprise player taken. Chicago had an opportunity to take Cody Hill. They elected not to. Instead, Cody Hill fell to Vancouver.
Well, every SFL franchise has their favorites, and sometimes in the offseason, Cam, you just fall in love with a guy, and you want to take him regardless of where everybody else has him on their draft boards.
Suicide King with the 100 bits. Thank you for that, Mr. Nathan Blake, who had an interception or 2 Monday night. Boy, we lost track of the interceptions on Monday as did. Queen City beat London. 3-yard pickup for Hill, 2nd down and 7 at the 44.
And again, you know what? Vancouver's not really, they're not giving up on their game plan here. They're going to try and balance the run and the pass, and you know, circumstances of the score may change that, but as of right now, they're not panicked. They like what they saw in their first series. and they believe they can just move the ball down the field again.
Back into Chicago territory at the 44-yard line. Biddix is in trouble. Biddix going to go down. Really good pressure by Kevin Owens right from the jump on that play. Keith Owens, beg your pardon.
And Keith Owens just showing the bull rush there, actually able to push the offensive lineman back into the quarterback to the point where the quarterback had nowhere to go. Easy sack there for Owens, who showed a tremendous amount of power there.
Another third down for the Legion. It's already their fourth of the quarter. And Biddix is going long in the pass. Oh, it's incomplete. What a hit by Maurice Spurgeon. The pass was intended for Farrell. I thought for sure he was going to come down with a football, and Chicago's defense stands tall again.
Well, Biddix right on point. Unfortunately, the ball just had a lot of air under it, Cam. It took a long time to get to the wide receiver. That gave the defender an opportunity to really put his helmet right into the wide receiver to cause that ball to come out.
So Vancouver will kick the ball away, while officially sitting at midfield with 2.5 to go. And back to return it. They're going to let it bounce inside the 10, and it's going to roll into the end zone. So Chicago gets it on their second possession. They move the chains once, their first go-around.
And I think the Wildcats are one of the bigger mysteries here in the SFL. You know, this is a Wildcats team that in their first season, they went to the championship game, and then last year failed to make the playoffs. So, you know, it's really kind of a mystery what they're going to bring this year. So far 0-1, but again, they had that bye week, so we really don't know who they are.
First and 10 at the 20, and then J. Calvin Kim is stuffed again. So now it's second down with 2.5 to go. Let's meet the rest of the Chicago Wildcats starting offense. Of course, E.T. King is the quarterback, fourth season in the SFL. Kendall Gilbert, Corey Carter, and Alex Zeli are the wide receivers on the outside. And, of course, tight end Shann Varner, who's now in his 6th season. Alex Zeli, 5th season in the league. Gilbert, 4th season. And so this is a veteran unit that's trying to get back to where they were in Season 9, where they made the championship. Kendall Gilbert is the first player not named J. Calvin Kim to touch the ball, and it's 3rd and 4 coming up.
Yeah, and Gilbert really the shining star of this offense in that first game. 8 receptions for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. But, you know, the bigger surprise to me is the fact that Alex Zeli, as you mentioned, a veteran of this team, didn't record a single catch in their last game. Optimus
Dime GG with 600 bits in the chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate your support. 3rd down and 4, running out of room. That was number 89, Trevor Driver, the tight end 2 on the depth chart. And now it's 4th down and 4 again for Chicago, and both offenses are sputtering a little bit here in the first quarter, trying to get their first win.
Well, that one was on E.T. King. You know, quarterback was a little bit lackadaisical in getting the ball out to the tight end. Had an opportunity there. If he got the ball out a little bit quicker, give the tight end an opportunity to kind of bowl for that first down. But he got it to him so late, his momentum took him out of bounds.
Crew Knox just subscribed with Twitch Prime. So much support. So thankful and appreciative here on the SFL Network with 1:42 to go. You know, Steven, I've been going through a lot of the convention footage. A lot of that will get released here in the coming weeks, and just so many fond memories. It was really great.
Yeah, it was a wonderful experience to be able to sit there with people that you know, some of us have known for years but have never met in person, and actually form relationships is something that I'll treasure.
So 1st and 10 of the 43. Handoff goes to Sanchez. Both Sanchez and Hill have gotten a few carries. Rowland picks up the tackle. That is now his 5th. And looking at Cody Hill, he's got 3 carries for 3 yards, and Sanchez has 3 carries for 9 yards here in the first quarter.
Well, Vancouver seems satisfied to grind this game out. They're not a high-scoring team. They want to control the clock, control time of possession, and they want to do that with a balanced offense.
2nd down and 8 from the 45. Out of the gun is Mark Biddix. And Mark looks to throw deep down the field. Pass is caught this time. Wow. Brett Killian over the middle of the field. I believe Spurgeon was there again on the tackle, and a packed crowd here at Canada Field looking on.
Well, when the Legion have looked deep Brett Killian has answered the call, 6'5", 222 pounds, using every bit of his frame there to get in front of Spurgeon, who really nails him in midair. But Killian, a veteran, is able to hold on to the ball. You know, Vancouver's looked good when they've looked deep. They just haven't done it a lot so far in this game.
First down and 10 at the 35. And Biddix flips it outside to Sanchez, and he runs out of room. So both teams just a bit sluggish. You wonder if Chicago feels that way after a bye week. Bye week's not too common in the SFL. And then, of course, Vancouver came out firing last week against Alaska and then kind of fell off and ended up losing that game.
Well, you got to feel for Chicago because, you know, having a bye week after your first week, you don't have a lot of time to get your team to gel. And so you're a little bit behind the 8 ball, but they'll catch up as the season goes. 3
receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. This is a trap to Cody Hill, and Hill found the hole just a little bit too late. Picked up 6th, though, on the run. Hill's best run, the 9th pick in the SFL rookie draft. Thought to be going number 1, and if Josh Rosen did, he'd say that there were 8 mistakes in front of him.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you land where you're most needed, Cam, and it may not be where you think you're supposed to be or where people predict that you'll be, but you'll just find the perfect situation. I believe Cody Hill has.
Biddix, wobbler, and Hamrick knocked it away. Really should have been an interception. That was an easy grab as we wind down towards the end of the first quarter, but this will be a 46-yard attempt for Walsh after getting his first kick blocked.
Yeah, and Walsh 4 or 5 on the season. Prior to this game, 80% in field goal percentage.
So 45-yard attempt. Hoping this one isn't blocked either. Good snap, good hold. Eric Walsh's kick is good, and we are away from our scoreless first quarter. Vancouver's on the board.
Well, you know, that's good for Vancouver. Clearly, you know, they wish they would have come away with more points here in the first quarter, but still able to show their dominance a little bit here with good momentum on the offensive side of the ball, and Chicago's looked a little inept offensively. So it may be a small lead, but at the end of the day, it could end up being actually a substantial one.
So as Vancouver kicks it off, we'll reach the end of the first quarter, and then these two owners have a deep history together. We'll get into that a little bit more as Corey Carter's on the return. He'll get out to the 27-yard line, and that'll end our first quarter of play. Well, Vancouver should be up by more. Chicago hasn't done much, but they're still very much alive. 3-0 Vancouver on top of Chicago. This is Friday Night Lights here on the SFL Network on Twitch. We'll be right back to Canada Field after this.
Show Business Studios can take your dream and make it reality. Any show, anytime, any place. Show Business Studios is limited only by your imagination. Find us at showbusinessstudios.com.
The Simulation Football League on the SFL Network is presented by APM Music, custom music library, and house, really, production music library and custom music house. Hey, Show Business Studios, the official place of the SFL Convention, Media Tech Institute. Richards Printworks, the official shop of the Simulation Football League. ScoreStream, the official score app of the SFL. And Spygoat, your choice for sound reinforcement. 80-degree day here in Vancouver, Canada. Start of the second quarter here on the SFL Network. Alongside Stephen Mullenax, Scott LaRue on stats. One-handed catch for Alex Zeli, his first of the game. I am Cameron Irvine on the Cam tonight. Everybody asking to show the red cup. It's not here tonight. I figured red shirt and red cup, y'all make fun of me.
Well, Zeli here with his first actual catch of the season, and it's a doozy, a nice one-hander here out of the four-wide formation. I like the fact that E.T. King in this offense is going to spread Vancouver out a little bit and target some of these excellent receivers they have in their core.
Wow, that's intense. He didn't have a catch in week 1?
That's right.
Man, 2nd down and 2, hand off to Kim. Kim going to grunge forward for a first down, but it wasn't easy. Bowers Jr. and champion on the stop, but another first down for Chicago, their second of the ball game.
Yeah, it seems like both of these teams are really built to grind out the football. You know, they're not looking necessarily for long, deep runs. They don't have speedsters. They have more power guys. You know, other than Cody Hill, who just hasn't really seen his potential reached yet. But these guys like to power through the ball, but they need yards through the air.
1st and 10 at the 38, and that pass is caught by Driver to the outside. Pickup of 8. Somebody in the chat saying that I'm supporting London with my red shirt. No, actually, I gave a red shirt to Nathan Lee, and then I never got it back. I think he threw it to somebody else. 2nd and 2 with the 45. That's an interception joke. Thanks for your support, Stephen Mullenax. 2nd and 2 at the 45-yard line. Stack in the box is Vancouver. Handoff to Jay Calvin. Kim got a first down past the first level and picks it up to the Vancouver 48-yard line. Chicago crosses midfield for the first time tonight.
Well, Jay Calvin Kim, 5'11", 235, a nice husky running back. He's got good power to throw himself around with reckless abandon when he needs to there. He's a big black that sometimes doesn't play like one, Cam.
1st and 10, handoff to Kim again, and Kim manages to pick up 3 more. Boy, Frank Champion is all over the field, and Jay Calvin Kim now has 6 carries for 21 yards. Not a bad start for Kim. And E.T. King is 5 of 6. They just haven't gotten much going down the field.
Right, and them getting Kim going is a good sign for, you know, their passing offense. That's going to start allowing some of these wide receivers to get a little bit more distance between the defenders.
And Kim will take the swing, and Kim's got a first down. Got some room with a nice block downfield of the Vancouver 37-yard line, and Chicago is slowly putting together a drive. Lopez on the tackle.
Well, it was the center, Tony Harrison, out there getting that block, actually putting a defender on his back that allowed Kim the opportunity to get those extra yards in that first down. So big credit there to the offensive lineman for hustling out there.
Chat's getting creative tonight.
Uh-oh.
with the red shirt. It's unbelievable. Sometimes you don't have to do much to get them talking. 1st and 10 at the 37. 8:20 to go in the first half. 3-0 Vancouver's on top. And Kim breaks off a tackle. Look at Kim rumbling. Lopez another stop. Check that major key. And that's a 7-yard gain. Kim averaging 4 yards a carry, 28 yards on 7 carries.
Well, look, this guy is getting it going here, obviously, and, you know, he runs with a head of steam, Cam, likes to barrel through bodies, as he shows right there, and he isn't shy about lowering his pads.
83 viewers, let's keep it up, SFL Nation, as Kim's got a first down. Did you see the block by the left guard on the outside? That was vicious, and Chicago is wearing down the Legion defense.
Well, give credit to this entire offensive line. They opened up the Grand Canyon right in the middle. Like you said, there's an offensive lineman there pancaking number 90. But Kim had a wide open lane past the first down marker. Wasn't even touched until he already had the first down.
7:30 to go in the first half. Kim again on the carry. Picks up just 1. And if I'm Vancouver's defense, I'm just a little exhausted at this point. Maybe King tries to test him deep.
Yeah, and you know, as these runs have been piling on top of each other back to back to back, this Legion defense is slowly compacting towards the line of scrimmage. And like you said, that could open up something exciting down deep for King.
7 minutes to go, 3 wide receivers. And Kim pump fakes, now dumps it off short. Pass caught by Zeli to set up a more 3rd and manageable at the 20. You know, both offenses have really kind of picked their battles here, feeling each other out in the first half.
Yeah, and you know what? There's been a focus on getting Zeli more attention here early, as he was totally blanked the last game, and they've certainly done that here. Look into his number quite a bit.
3rd down and 4, 6:48 to go in the first half. King's out of the shotgun, 3 receivers. King to throw. King steps up in the pocket, going to the end zone, and it's knocked away and almost intercepted. Boy, that pass was about as good as King could have placed it. Let's take a look at this again. Oh, man.
Right. That's Gilbert's ball right there. That's something that he would normally catch. Clearly, just his focus just a little off. They're not able to come down with the ball, but if it's in the hands, big fella, you need to come down with it. I know that he's hurting over that one on the sidelines for sure.
That was a great throw by King. Actually, even better than I thought it was initially. And this is a 36-yard attempt to tie it for Jesus Garcia, who's certainly had an up-and-down career in Chicago. Good snap, good hold. 36-yard field goal is no good. He missed it left. And Chicago stays scoreless.
Well, those missed field goals, Cam, are like ghosts. They will haunt you this entire game. And at the end of the contest, it could be the difference maker in you winning or losing a game. Those are heartbreakers.
What a momentum turn, too. Chicago should have had 7. Then they should have had 3 and didn't get anything. 1st and 10 of the 26 now. Biddix, the left-hander, fires it outside, caught by Farrell. Farrell very active here early on. Jesse Vick makes the stop after a pickup of 7 yards.
Cam, I think I have a solution to your red shirt chat problems here. How about no shirt? We take the shirt off and we start the hashtag show me your nips in the chat. I think that's if they're going to rag you for the color of your shirt, no shirt is the solution, my friend.
2nd and 3 at the 33. 2 backs and 2 receivers. Biddix outside, and that is not how you drag the toes. Brett Killian 5 feet out of bounds. 3rd and 3.
Yeah, that speed will kill you sometimes there. The receiver needed to play with a little bit more finesse, give his quarterback an opportunity to find him in bounds. And this is a wasted challenge. An absolute waste of a challenge.
He's probably going to be if I'm Andy Hamilton, I'm thinking, well, I've lost 2 ridiculous challenges over the last couple of seasons. Maybe I'll win a ridiculous challenge because this is absurd. Oh, yeah, my.
Not even close.
The guy holding the sticks was closer to catching that pass inbounds.
I think that might be a case of just Andy Hamilton's angle on the sidelines. He might have seen some kind of mirage there. But, yeah, kicking himself and anybody who's close to him on the sidelines right now.
Oh, that is horrible. It's just horrible. So, Vancouver loses a timeout. This has been a bit of a rough game for both of these teams here in the first half. Chicago's missed a field goal, dropped a touchdown pass. Vancouver's got a field goal blocked and wasted a timeout on the challenge. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Biddix outside Farrell, caught first down to the 38-yard line. And Farrell's now got 4 catches on 5 targets.
Well, if it didn't work on one side of the field, let's try that same play on the other side of the field. This time Farrell able to get his feet down and get the first down for Vancouver. It's just these teams have just been kind of inching their way towards the end zone, not able to get in and not taking advantage of these opportunities.
Mark Biddix now 9 of 13 for 97 yards. No touchdowns, no picks in the first half. Handoff to Hill, and Hill made a really nice cut there, back up the middle. It looked like he had a hole outside just for a second, but he would have gotten plowed, and instead Hill picks up 5.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a Wildcat defensive end there that had looked like he was completely unblocked, but Hill has the nice recognition and the speed to change direction to go inside and get the yardage.
2nd and 5 of the 43, outside to Sanchez, and Sanchez won't get the first down. Clint Hendershot, one of the hardest hitting linebackers in the SFL, makes the play. 3rd down and 1 at the 48, and we want to remind you that Fan Night comes your way Monday night. Alaska and Sioux Falls, prime time. We're headed just up north to Alaska. The travel is a little better this week, Stephen, for us.
A little bit, yeah. It should be a little bit better climate for me to get accustomed to.
3rd and 1, Sanchez, first down in midfield, and these two teams just continue to plug away as we're up to 92 viewers. And by the way, Andy Hamilton said, Cam, he's in, kiss my nips. So there you go.
That wasn't the hashtag. Kiss my nips. Show me your nips, my friend. That's a whole different thing you're vying for.
Well, that's definitely trending in our chat room. 1st and 10 at midfield. Biddick's just got it away. Out to Sanchez, and Sanchez gets his head taken off by Hendershot again. Pickup of 2. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Stephen, we've been on the air for 35 minutes, and we have 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, my friend, every time I'm on the air with you, it seems like it goes by so quickly, but here's something that doesn't go by quickly, the Legion's offense. They've been steadily moving down the field, but it's been a slow process. That's probably one of the reasons why it feels like the clock is moving a little bit faster.
2 backs, 3 wide receivers, hand off to Hill, and Hill is dragged down from behind. Really nice tackle there by Donnie Odom. And Chicago's run defense has looked pretty good tonight after BDG Hollywood ran all over them in week 1.
Yeah, it does, but also, you know, victims. Vancouver, is a little bit of their own victim here. They want to obviously run the ball. They want to pass the ball. They want to pass the ball through Sanchez, and it just hasn't worked out as well as they wanted to.
And off the Hill, he broke through a couple of tackles, but won't get there. So Cody Hill's gotten carries on 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 4. Nothing doing. A.J. Barnes with the stop, another veteran on this defense, and Chicago's defense is holding strong as both these teams look for their first victory of the season.
Well, Vancouver's kind of giving it to them here, you know, on 3rd down, deciding to run a majority of this time. And we've seen them been very successful through the air, so it's a little mind-boggling why they're not passing on 3rd down.
Punt is away from Jess Kingston. Fair catch call, 4th 15-yard line by Chicago, and we pause just for a moment from a word for the SFL.
Follow the SFL on Twitter @SimulationFL, on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels. You're already here, right? Might as well stay tuned. Get league updates on your phone while browsing the internet, and make sure you never miss a live broadcast. Thank you for supporting the SFL.
1st and 10 at the 15. Out to Kim. Kim with some blockers. Stepped out of bounds, but did pick up 8. Stopping the clock with 2:34 to go. And E.T. King is now 8 of 10. Kim has 4 of those 8 receptions.
In so many of these defensive matchups like this, which is a low-scoring game, it always feels like it's a case of one big play. Who's going to make that one big play that breaks this game open on either side of the ball? Right now, it's a question of who wants it more. And neither of these teams have been doing, really answering that question yet.
2nd and 2 of the 23. Kim hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete. Had Kim wide open, but really nice pressure from Bowers Jr. getting in the face of E.T., and it's 3rd and 2.
Well, that was actually Alfonso Freeney there, the fullback, trying to get a hold of that pass. King just good to get it out of the collapsing pocket. Freeney probably doesn't see the ball a lot, either in games or in practice, so probably surprised a bit that he was the receiver there and couldn't come up with it.
King, good ball, a little low. As Canada Field standing up to chance some defense. Boy, Vancouver, who struggled on defense and was pretty good on offense last year, sort of the opposite team here in Season 11 so far, as Kim pump fakes, now throws a rainbow out to J. Calvin Kim, and it picked up about 12 yards for the first down. I've never seen such a high arcing throw. Unbelievable.
Well, let's take a look at this rainbow. Surprised there wasn't a leprechaun on the end of that. No, that's J. Calvin Kim, who does good to scamper there after catching the ball in the backfield. He scampers and has enough speed there to get the first down and more. Good job by the running back. But, boy, you're right. That quarterback didn't really fling that ball with much power.
2 minutes to go. This is the SFL Network on Twitch, presented by APM Music. Kim showing his speed there, getting away from Bowers on the outside as well. 9 carries, 34 yards. Overall in this half, J. Calvin Kim rather has 14 touches for 63 yards. 1st and 10 at the 35. 3 receivers for King, and King will step up in the pocket, fire middle, pass tipped and incomplete. Looking for Carter. Shann Varner only has 1 catch, I believe, tonight. And there's Bowers Jr. again getting involved. 2nd and 10.
Well, a nice job there by the defense to get in front of that ball. But these are 2 offenses clearly that want to go through their running backs, whether that's running the ball on the ground or through the air. And so far tonight, it's been one of those grounded-out, smash-mouth football games that hasn't really produced a lot in the scoring column.
Now 5 wide for King here in the 2-minute offense, and King is airing it out, and that pass is incomplete. Knocked away by Trey Lawson, and good hustle down the field as Chicago tried to keep Vancouver napping. The undrafted rookie, 6'2", 220, with the pass defense.
Well, a nice job there by Lawson, the rookie. 7 tackles and 2 pass defense on the season. Sometimes with those undrafted guys, Cam, you never know what you're going to get there. Trey Lawson holds up well to force this 3rd and 10.
Another 5 wide empty look for Chicago. King against just a 3-man rush. Fires it short middle. Pass just a little behind. Who's that out there? Is that Carter? No, Austin Matrullo. 6', 185, his first catch of the night, and it's 4th down and 3. Vancouver gets another stop in this ball game.
Well, I can see what King was thinking there. You know, with that many wide receivers out, you hope that it opens up the middle of the field, especially short middle, and you give an opportunity to your wide receiver there to try and get the 1st down. But I'm just never a fan of throwing it short of the sticks on 3rd down, just putting too much of an onus there on a bench player.
So Chicago gets to wind the clock here as Vancouver elects not to take a timeout. Down to a minute to go in the first half, and from the 15-yard line, nowhere to run. Stevens up to the 17. Nice tackle in the open field by Brandon Vise, rookie corner.
And we've seen a lot of these kind of slow-starting games, Cam, and then in the second half, these teams explode for points, and it's how many times have we seen a big shootout in one of these games? So, this is these 2 teams, as you can start to see their offenses that are opening up. Going to those 5 wide without a running back in that last series. So we can see this game open up in the second half.
Flag on the play. I think Vancouver will elect to decline as Hill picks up 8 or 9 on the run. While we get the call from the official, shout out to Tom Hamilton, the father of Andy Hamilton, watching his first SFL game tonight. So thanks a lot, Steven, for the Show Me Your Nips trending hashtag in the chat.
Well, hey, Tom, how was that pizza? What kind did you get? I heard that you were out grabbing some pizza for your lazy son, Andy.
I await nervously the response. 58 seconds to go. 2nd down and 1. Vancouver did decline the penalty. 4-3 look for Chicago as Biddix goes straight back, fires outside, caught by Killian. Did he get out of bounds? No, and Vancouver electing not to run the hurry up here, which is interesting.
Yeah, seems satisfied to take a 3-0 lead into halftime. Back to referring to Andy, I want to just clarify for anyone who doesn't know Andy Hamilton. He is probably the hardest working man here in the SFL outside of Cam, Andrew, and then the Prez. So, Andy, I say it with love, my man.
Tom says won't be the last, referring to the SFL games, especially if those nips are coming. So, clearly, we are all family here tonight. We're all on the same page.
Clearly, the acorn didn't fall far from the tree.
That's right. Except his dad is funny. 2nd and 8 at the 32. So down to 6 seconds left in the first half, and Vancouver is content with taking a 3-0 lead in the locker room. Cody Hill will take the handoff, and Hill, one of his better runs of the night, but I think that's one of the few plays tonight we've had that went over 10 yards. And that is the end of a very surprisingly uneventful first half. By the way, Jeremy Vega, 44-minute first half. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Now to the 2K Sports halftime report. And Steven, what do you make of this first half as these 2 teams seem to just continue to be kind of figuring each other out?
Well, I think they're figuring themselves out. You know, through the first 2 weeks of the season, especially if you have a bye in those first 2 weeks, you really don't know who you are, and we don't know who you are yet as a team. And so some of these early offensive struggles just could be, just shaking the rust off or trying to get things straight in the playbook or getting used to your new players. But here we're just seeing two offenses that are really sputtering. The defenses have played well. They haven't necessarily been always the reason why the drives have stopped. It's really been a lot of the offensive mistakes and running out of bounds and a blocked field goal, things like that, and special teams. So, again, I think both of these offenses need to start spreading the ball out a little bit more, start passing the ball a little bit more. They've been so focused on getting their running back started. The highlights are almost non-existent.
That is the end of the 2K Sports Halftime Report. We'll be back after these messages to Vancouver, where Chicago will be receiving the second half kickoff. Stay tuned.
Music is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com and visit their all-new esports landing page to find the best highlight music, heroic action, and epic sounds to boost the quality of your esports stream just like us. Log on to forum.apmmusic.com/esports for more information. APM Music, production music library, and custom music house.
Sun starting to set in Vancouver, and the SFL presented by APM Music on Twitch is brought to you by APM Music, production music library and custom music house, by Show Business Studios, by the Media Tech Institute, by Richards Printworks, the official shop of the SFL, by ScoreStream, the official scoring app of the Simulation Football League, and by Spy Goat, the Spy Goat of Week 2, Stephen Oscar Dunkley. 4 picks and 5 tackles there on that fantastic Monday night game we had just a few nights ago.
One of the best individual performances that we've seen by a defender, probably, and I know certainly during my time here in the SFL, to come away with that many interceptions a game, and to do it on Queen City, a team with 4 championships already. Just bodes well for them this season.
So 10:57 to go in the third, just starting the second half. Carter returns to the 26-yard line, still without a touchdown or a turnover for that matter here tonight. Right. Did have a blocked field goal. Both teams have been very good in terms of their protection of the football. King is 10 of 15. Biddix is 12 of 16, so both are rather efficient. Cody Hill, 10 carries, 38 yards. Sanchez, 4 carries, 11 yards for Vancouver. Out to Kim. Kim got a block, and Jake Calvin Kim picks up 2 yards. Bowers Jr. and company out there to make another stop. That was Lawson providing the assist.
Well, I would say that this game probably, in the way that I've seen these both teams play in the first half offensively, I say the game favors Vancouver. They have looked better in the passing game than Chicago, whereas the Wildcats have looked like a better run team. But I think ultimately being better in the pass game is going to serve Vancouver as these last 2 quarters play out.
Showing blitz, here they come, and Jake Calvin Kim runs at least initially past Bowers Jr., who was coming in hot. 3rd down and 1 at the 35 as Kim is talking some smack. And J. Calvin Kim has been a big part of this Chicago game plan here tonight.
Yeah, and it's surprising. It's really only been him or Zeli, and it hasn't really been Zeli very often compared to how many touches. Kim is touching the ball nearly as much as E.T. King is.
3rd down and 1 at the 35, and the handoff goes to Kim, and he won't get there. What a stop up the middle. That was big number 95, Stanley Hudson, who is hurt after making the tackle.
Well, talk about sacrificing yourself for the game there, Hudson. The 6'3", 295-pound defensive tackle holds on to this big running back, brings him down to the backfield, but pays the ultimate price for it.
Looks like he may have lost his footing there as he tried to make that stop, but did get the stop, and it'll bring up 4th down and 2 and another punt for Malcolm Perrin. You know, these two go back a long way. Both Shann Varner and Andy Hamilton both started coaching in 2015, back in season 6. Shann coached offense for the first 2 seasons. Andy took over the last season, and they flip-flopped. Mark Biddix was the former quarterback in Carolina. James Klein was the owner the entire time in Carolina. Maurice Spurgeon was Shann and Andy's first draft pick in the SFL, and followed Shann to Chicago. So it just goes on and on and on, the connections between these two teams, and if you can believe it, since season 9 when they both got their own franchises, first time they're meeting one another with Chicago and Vancouver, as Brett Killian picks up 7 yards.
Yeah, these two guys have been in the league for quite a while, and all now under that James Klein coaching tree as he continues to produce, you know, quality coaching candidates and owner candidates. It's got got some good guys right now on a 2-0 squad there in Carolina.
9:25 to go in the 3rd. Flip out to Sanchez, and Sanchez breaks a tackle and picks up a 1st down. Puts Jesse Vick down to the ground around the line of scrimmage, and Vancouver moves the chains.
Well, that's what they want to see from the 6'3", 230-pound big fella. Want to see him put his shoulder into somebody and get those 1st downs. That's why they're throwing it out to him there in the flat. They want him to use that power there. Really the first time in this game we've seen that out of Sanchez.
8:55 to go in the 3rd. Biddix outside. Caught by Kitten up. They said it wasn't caught. That looked a lot closer. 2nd and 10 coming up at the 47. Killian 4 receptions on 7 targets. And Steven, Vancouver did not get a touchdown in week 1. They only got 1 against Alaska. That was in the 1st quarter. They have none tonight. That's 10 going on 11 quarters now with just 1 touchdown this season.
Well, they clearly have the talent to score more. It's just either they haven't taken advantage of their opportunities, or like here, their drives have just been failing as they've just started going.
No challenge. 2nd and 10 to the 47. Trips off the left side. Now Biddix going long. Caught by Killian down to the Chicago 30. Biggest play of the game. Hamrick on the tackle. And Killian again beating Chicago deep.
Well, look, Killian is a matchup nightmare. We talked about his build, 6'5", 222. And he's got sticky Spider-Man hands, Cam. When he gets his little digits on the ball, they just kind of suck into the leather. And able to pull that one down. A big play for Vancouver. Probably their biggest of the game so far.
1st down to the 30. Handoff Sanchez. And Sanchez going to be racked up for no gain. Hudson, I thought it was a knee injury. It did look like he landed awkwardly. We'll be back next week, but we won't see him back in action tonight. 2nd down.
And just 2 plays ago, they had Killian on the outside, actually called him out of bounds. That's where, you know, that early challenge that Andy Hamilton used could have hurt them. They decided not to challenge that play. Luckily, Killian bails them out in the next play.
Biddix long. Killian 1st and goal at the 7. He is burning Hamrick. 104 yards on 6 catches. Killian has come to play in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I bet you Brett was in the locker room at halftime saying, hey, guys, I'm getting good coverage out here. I'm getting a lot of separation. Got to look my way here in the 2nd half. And boy, have they. It's almost as if Biddix had just had a target right on number 12's back this whole time. and he's looking his way every time.
Biddix is now 16 of 21 for 168 yards, split backs, and a deep drop back, fires far side, pass caught at the 2. That, I believe, is Farrell. It is Trevor Farrell with catch number 5, and Biddix is doing a good job spreading the ball around.
Well, Killian has been the deep, big play threat, where Farrell has been more reliable on those out routes, Cam, to slow up before the sideline, give Biddix a nice big target. Might not be, the touchdown that they're wanting there, but makes it a lot closer, and he's reliable as a receiver.
Cody Hill wanting his first SFL touchdown. Instead, Sanchez gets the handoff and can't get in. 3rd down and goal at the 2. Rowland on the stop. And what do you think, Steven? Should they give it to Hill here and punch it in the ground game?
Well, that's been their motto all game, is to go for it on 3rd down, running the ball. So I don't see why they would change that formula now, so close to the goal line.
Goal line look for Chicago. Biddix going to change the play at the line to a pass. Straight back, quick slant, knocked away. What a play by A.J. Barnes, taking it away right at the last second, and Chicago holds them out of the end zone again.
Well, the Legion offense fooled me, but they did not fool A.J. Barnes, the longtime veteran, 6-year veteran, actually, there to knock the ball away from who else? Killian, that was targeted in the end zone, forcing Vancouver to go for a field goal.
That was a fantastic play by Barnes. I thought for sure Biddix was going to catch him sleeping. Maybe if he held on the ball a little bit longer, that play would have ended differently. This is a 19-yard chip shot for Walsh. Good snap, good hold. Kick is through. And now it's 6-0. Vancouver over Chicago. And now a word from the SFL.
Join the world's fastest growing sim football community by jumping onto our Discord server. Use the Discord command in chat to keep up with schedules, news, notes, announcements, and polls. Jump off the sidelines and into the action here where we're loading legends at the SFL.
Carter, good return out to the 32-yard line. 500 bits from TJ CAG SFL, and we want to remind you about the Bits Give Back program. Still processing orders from last week, but the Bits give back to our community, including one-on-one feature interviews. This week it's going to be Marcus Dunhill, the quarterback of the Atlanta Swarm, and he's got an amazing story. You're not going to want to miss that Monday night. Vancouver jumps offside. That penalty will be accepted.
Yeah, and if you're Vancouver, you hate to see that. A great defensive play there made by Bowers is going to get totally wiped out because one of the defensive linemen wasn't paying attention.
So 1st and 5 after the offside. Both teams have had one penalty tonight, although Chicago's was declined. .6:05 to go in the 3rd. A fast-moving ball game here tonight. Handoff goes to Kim. And Jake Calvin Kim is wrapped up after a 2-yard gain. 42 yards on 12 carries for the scoreless Wildcats. And it's never really felt like Chicago's been out of this game, but it's never really felt like Chicago has posed a threat either.
Yeah, they haven't felt, they haven't felt like they've been into the game, and they haven't had any interceptions or any fumbles or made any drastic mistakes. They just haven't played good offensive football.
Wow, Jake Calvin Kim got blasted by Markham Lopez. Really nice hit on the outside. And Steven, I really like what I've seen out of the Vancouver defense over the last 3 weeks. Sure, Denver and Chicago's offenses are struggling, but they held Alaska to 27 points last week too, which is not easy.
Yeah, and Denver, the new Denver team, which you didn't know what you were going to get out of Denver, they held them to 10.
On the road.
On the road, and this defense hasn't had much offensive support.
3rd and 2, and that pass is caught by Alex Zelay. Zelay has not done much tonight, but he's caught a few good ones on the sideline, and staying over on the Vancouver sideline just a little too long, as both these teams are starting to get antsy, I think.
Yeah, and showing a little swagger there. That might be good. somebody actually showing a little swagger on the Chicago offense, fire them up a little bit.
3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield, 3 down linemen Vancouver. They rush a lot of people. Everybody's picked up, and King delivers a ball to Corey Carter. Great job by the Chicago offensive line as Vancouver was bringing a blitz, and Chicago's in scoring position for only the second time tonight.
Well, there's no defense for the perfect pass, and here King drops it in the breadbasket right while the receiver didn't even have to stop, just has to catch it over his shoulder, which is a great job by Carter. But while in stride, he gets him the ball, able to get just a little bit more of that yardage. Again, a big play for Chicago, and finally in the scoring range.
Corey Carter was being pressed to the line, and he got rid of that defense quickly. Shann Varner picks up 7. That's his first catch. E.T. King is starting to get a rhythm now, and King is up to 14 of 19 passing for 107 yards. Kim leads the way with 6 catches.
And King spreading the ball around. We've seen Varner involved. We've seen Carter involved. He had Gilbert earlier. He had Zeli. He's been going to him a lot. So really, that's really helped spread this offense out.
And off to Kim. Got a first down. Dragging Vancouver defenders. 3:50 to go in the third. Chicago's in the red zone, and my neighbors they're cooking something that smells delicious. It's kind of hard to focus in here. What is going on outside?
Well, in Chicago, it's really good when your fullback, Freeney, can go untouched through the middle of the line. That probably bodes really well for the running back, Kim, who's right behind him. 1st and 10 at the 16. And Kim will flip it out, or Kim will receive the flip out from King and picks up 5 to the 11-yard line. Again, Chicago's offensive line doing a pretty good job there, making sure Vancouver did not get home. Down to 3 minutes to go in the third. Well, you're sniffing something good over there from the neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago is sniffing the end zone here for really the first time tonight. You can tell their momentum is building as they get closer and closer to pay dirt.
And off Kim, nothing. Stopped in the backfield. Nice play by Red Ross.
Red Ross, 6'5", 290, using all of that frame to penetrate the line. And boy, once that big fella gets those arms around you, that's a hug you can't get out of.
3rd down and 6. 2.5 to go in the third. This could be Chicago's moment. 4 wide. Carter's in the slot. Zeli very bottom of the screen. Gilbert top of the screen, been very quiet. King to pass. King going back corner of the end zone. Knocked away by Lawson. Trey Lawson does it again. It's 4th down.
And that is a mistake by E.T. King. He had a wide open Shann Varner right in the middle of the field, but locked his eyes on Zeli on the outside, was going to him no matter what. Really feeling his connection with Zeli in this game, but there, like you mentioned, a great play by the defender to knock it away. And they have an opportunity to cut this lead in half here.
Jesus Garcia, 28-yarder. Missed a chip shot earlier. This one is through. Both teams have missed out on a field goal, so that all evens out. It's 6-3 here in the third quarter in Canada.
Well, we talked about early on in this game how that one field goal by Vancouver could end up being the difference maker. Well, here we are at near the end of the third quarter, and it absolutely is the difference maker. If this game ends at this score, which I don't believe it will, but if it did, that tells you how important it was, those missed field goals as opposed to those made ones.
Short kick, only to the 15-yard line, and Stevens won't even reach the 30. Excellent job by Chicago's kick coverage team with 2:15 to go in the third. Fan night comes your way Monday night, and this one is a big one. Sioux Falls and Alaska, battle of the undefeateds. Alaska ended Sioux Falls' chances at reaching their first SFL championship game last season. Who will take the edge in the series that's tied at 2? Stephen and I will be at the I Monday night. 1st and 10 at the 30, 2:15 to go in the third. Biddix, deep ball, knocked up in the air by Hambrick, and Spurgeon missed an opportunity at an interception and instead clobbers Killian. Good coverage down the field by Chicago.
Woo, Spurgeon, boy, does he rarely misses an opportunity to pick that ball off in the air when it's tipped up like that. Just couldn't get his mitts on it, but a good job by Blake Hamrack to tip the ball up. Never gave the Vancouver wide receiver even a speck of a chance to get a hold of that ball.
And Hamrick had the first opportunity at it as Stevens goes out wide. Two backs in the backfield. Cody Hill has not gotten a lot of looks here recently in the Vancouver offense. Offside again for Chicago. Biddick's going to throw again, and that one is knocked away by Spurgeon. Chicago getting a little bit more feisty in the secondary, but that incomplete won't account.
Well, that's when it pays off to have a veteran like Biddick's under center. That could have very well been a run play, Cam, but Biddick's recognizing the offsides, decided to fling the ball to his farthest wide receiver just to see if he can make something happen and take advantage of the penalty.
10 carries, 38 yards for Cody Hill is his production tonight. 6 catches, 104 yards. He's been the MVP so far this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Brett Killian. 2 receivers, 1 to either side, and 4-3 look for Chicago. Boy, they're all up on the line. Just a single high safety. Biddick's looking, goes deep. Good coverage, better catch. Broken tackle by Farrell down to the Chicago 30-yard line. Brilliant play on a one-on-one ball from Trevor Farrell.
Well, look, this guy has a great feel for his surroundings, and here he wins the 50-50 ball. It was put up by his quarterback. He knew that he had one-on-one coverage there with number 26 there, Hodge, and he trusts his receiver to go up and get it, and boy, does he. And look at the yards after catch, Cam.
Jesse Vick burned again in coverage. 1st and 10 at the 30, 90 seconds to go in the third quarter. 3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield, and Biddick fires it out, a pump fake out to the far side for a 4-yard pick at the 26. That was Cade Stevens, and yes, he was in bounds.
Yeah, Stevens had to turn around and actually fell backwards catching that ball. Had a lot of Chicago defenders around him, so probably wasn't going to get much more yardage there anyway, but it makes it a very manageable 2nd and 6.
1:05 to go in the third. Split backs for Biddick. Biddick against a 4-man rush all day. Pass caught, middle, 10, down to the 5-yard line, inside a minute to go. Pass caught by Bykowski at tight end.
Well, the tight end runs a perfect route here. Look at him get wide open in the middle of the field. There's nobody around him, Cam, able to make it and bring the catch in. Just do your job, young man. Bring the catch in, get some extra yards, hold on to that ball, get down to the ground.
Now, can anybody reach the end zone tonight? 1st and goal at the 5. Another opportunity for Vancouver as Chicago desperate to get a stop. Hopefully a turnover if you're a Wildcat fan. 30 seconds to go in the third. Split backs for Biddick. Biddick shuffles the feet, fires, it's intercepted at the goal line by A.J. Barnes, who makes another critical red zone stop. Unbelievable.
Well, A.J. Barnes, he loves the end zone. He's out there like a predator, hunting his prey, finds it, and brings it in. Boy, didn't even have to move to bring that ball in. But, Cam, what I noticed on that play was one-on-one coverage on the outside, and there was an opportunity there for, I believe, Killam was wide open on a slant, but the quarterback was uncomfortable in the pocket, had to move a little bit, and didn't see the opening.
Offside Vancouver. They're starting to lose some discipline here as we've seen a lot of teams a little jumpy defensively. McLean on the stop, and we catch our breath, Stephen, and this is just this has been Vancouver's game to sort of choke away. They had a blocked field goal. They've had 2 opportunities inside the 5-yard line for touchdowns and just can't seem to get one.
Well, and the Wildcats on the other end, they're not taking advantage of the opportunity. So it's been a bit of a stalemate all game, but that was just so close to us seeing our first touchdown in this game. And A.J. Barnes steps up and makes a wonderful defensive play. It's like you said, it's breathtaking. It just is like, is anyone going to step up and grab this game by the throat?
Well, they won't do it in the third quarter because that's the end of the third quarter. 6-3. Vancouver on top of Chicago. Hey, at least it's close, and we got a good one. Stay with us. This is the SFL Network on Twitch, presented by APM Music.
Here at MediaTek,
Our goal is to create a well-rounded media professional. MediaTek is a place where you can turn dreams into reality. Our comprehensive recording arts, digital film, animation, mobile apps, and web development courses are focused on being very hands-on. We are a career-focused school. Our instructors are not only great teachers, they are also working professionals with real-world experience. MediaTek, come see what your future holds.
APM Music is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com and visit their all-new esports landing page to find the best highlight music, heroic action, and epic sounds to boost the quality of your esports stream just like us. Log on to forum.apmmusic.com/esports for more information. APM Music, production music library and custom music house. The Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on Twitch TV, is brought to you by SpyGoat, by ScoreStream, the official scoring app of the SFL, by Richards Printworks, the official shop of the SFL, by MediaTek Institute, by Show Business Studios, and, of course, by APM Music. All right, put your fours up. E.T. King out to J. Calvin Kim, picks up 2, and all it takes is one big play from Chicago or Vancouver to bust this game open. We've been waiting for it all night.
Yeah, and we've seen actually some big plays here in the second half. The interception by A.J. Barnes, big receptions back-to-back by Killian, but none of them have resulted in actual, touchdowns, and that's what we're in right now. This stalemate, just needing a touchdown to break it open.
E.T. King going long, wide open, Zeli! 30, 25, 20, tackle from behind the 18-yard line. 73 yards on 4 catches, and what a ball from E.T. King with pressure all over him.
And that was savage by E.T. King. We're not going to get a chance to see him in the pocket here, but trust me, he gave every ounce of his power and held the ball to the very last second to get that ball out to Zeli, who's seen a lot of looks there in the first half, hasn't really been targeted too much here in the second, but there, the biggest play of the game. Now the question is, can Chicago capitalize?
Marquise Reed with the stop. Haven't mentioned him a lot tonight, the linebacker turning safety. That's a good handoff for a 9-yard pickup to J. Calvin Kim. Chicago's starting to rumble.
And Kim there looking very Le'Veon Bell-esque, very patient, very decisive in his movements there, able to get this 2nd and 1 with the 9-yard gain, put Chicago in perfect position to cash in.
2nd down and 1 of the Vancouver 9. This game has been all about red zone stops on both sides. 2 backs in the backfield, handoff, Kim on a trap, and look at that play get blown up in the backfield. Loss of 1. Bam Franklin. Bam, thank you, ma'am.
Bam earning his name. Bam getting blocked by the fullback, pushing him aside, and Bam making the tackle. What a play by Bam.
Bam! 3rd and 2 at the 11. 2 backs and 2 receivers. 4-3 look for Vancouver. Pivotal 3rd down for Chicago. Handoff Kim. Nothing! Kim slapped down at the 13-yard line. A loss of 3. Another field goal coming. Brent Ross on the stop.
Well, an absolutely horrible decision by Kim there. Had maybe a little something there in the middle of the field. Opted to go to the right-hand side and got met by 2 Vancouver defenders already in the backfield. He had nowhere to go.
29-yard field goal for Jesus Garcia to tie the game at 6. Garcia, good. And the pressure's really mounting. And we haven't talked about it a lot, Steven, tonight, but who is this? I think this game is probably more important for Vancouver just simply because this is their 3rd game of the season. They do not want to fall 0-3 in the Western Conference.
Well, and also really says a lot more about them. Chicago having that bye week in week 2, there's still a question mark of did we really see who they were in that first game? is who they are today, who they are going to be, next week or the week after. So just because Vancouver has played more games, I think it's more important to them.
90 viewers for a close ball game here from Vancouver as Stevens brings it up to the 30. And again, some shout-outs to our top bit cheerers from broadcast last week. Achilles Frank, 900. Mixed Down King, 800. Sonic 0007, 700. Markham Lopez, Robert Redford, PB, and Jotter with 500. 330 from Nacho Sicario. Shacker 3, Pilgrim, and Ethan Key with 300 apiece. Bits Give Back program, part of the SFL. You can find more information about the Bits Give Back program at simulationfl.net. And we look forward to updating our website and bringing you some of those orders, some interviews, some highlight videos, all that good stuff in the coming weeks. 2nd and 9 with 8 minutes to go.
Well, here's the thing. With a 6-6 score here in the fourth quarter, none of these sidelines, none of these coaching staffs or even these players are really, pressing right now. They're still within their game plan, and they still believe, like you said, that one play will break this wide open.
Biddix out to Hill, and Hill is seeing birdies, and he's slow to get up. Oh, Hill is really slow to get up. Oh, and then his teammate stepped over him.
Oh, there must be something going on in this locker room, Cam. I mean, look, when an offensive lineman, one of your starting offensive linemen comes over and steps over your running back after he's been plowed, doesn't even offer him a hand, there may be a reason why Cody Hill is not getting as much success as we thought he would. Something's going on there on that sidelines.
3rd down and 13 as Biddix is looking long in the wide open and nobody in sight. That's Trevor Farrell, and that's a touchdown for Vancouver as Chicago's defense is burned.
Absolutely, Cam. That's a big defensive mistake, as there were 2 Vancouver wide receivers wide open in the middle of the field. Clearly a missed call and a missed assignment by someone somewhere. And if number 40 was supposed to cover that entire backfield, good luck when you've got guys like this caliber here for Vancouver running wide open down the field. Amazing.
Man, something definitely up with Chicago's defense, despite playing a pretty good game here tonight. They've let a couple of balls sail over their heads, and you just can't do that if you want to win games in the SFL, as Vancouver will try to go up a touchdown, and that seems insurmountable here tonight with 7:12 to go. The touchdown streak, or lack thereof, for Vancouver is broken. It's 13-6. Now a word from the SFL.
Want to do what I do? Contact me in the DM on Discord to find out how you can get involved with streaming live games, calling games, or breaking them down on the air with our broadcast team. Or help make our production even better by joining our new live stats team, helping our broadcasters shine brighter. We are #Loading Legends in the SFL.
Carter out to the 32-yard line. 7:08 left, plenty of time for Chicago. But they've got to prove that they can get in the end zone at least once.
We talked about the Legion's passing game looked more on point than Chicago. So far, as of right now, that's the difference in the game, this passing game success, even despite the Wildcats' defensive flub.
Kim was kind of bothering him there in the pocket. Oh, Alex Zeli just slipped and fell over on the sideline. Picks up 9, though. 5 catches, 81 yards. Farrell now has a $134. And tell you what, when you look at Biddix's stats, 22 of 30, 301 yards, a touchdown in that lone pick. He's having a pretty good night.
Yeah, it's just not reflecting, necessarily on the scoreboard, but he's been efficient. It hasn't been about as many mistakes being made. It's been more about just making good plays.
Handoff Kim, 2nd and 1. The blue sea parts to the 46-yard line, moving the chains for Chicago. 600 bits from Markham Lopez here just recently. So Lopez definitely showing his bits tonight.
Well, the Wildcats they don't feel pressed. They're still going to go through Kim as their main offensive weapon. So they haven't got to the point where they want to open up this offense yet, but they're soon going to have to be.
6:20 to go in the fourth. E.T. King looking around, fires the sideline. Carter's attempt is not there on the white chalk. Everybody see the SFL blitz yet in the chat? Been well received. Happy to hear that. 6:15 left in the fourth. Vancouver's up 7. 6 minutes left. And the handoff goes to Kim, and Kim's in trouble. Bowers Jr. stops him behind the line, a loss of 3. Now it's 3rd down and 13 for King.
Yeah, and you know, this is what happens when you just going to go ho-hum through your offense. You're not going to make any changes yet. You're not going to feel pressed to make those changes. And you end up with a 3rd and long right now, you know, to really get you in this ball game.
4 wide. Kim in the backfield. King over the middle to Carter. And unless it's 4 down territory, I don't like the play. We'll see if they actually do go for it.
Yeah, in a game as tight as this, Cam, even though we are approaching that 5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter, and we're at the 50-yard line, that's kind of a 50-50. You go for it on 4th down, but Chicago's offense hasn't necessarily been the most effective, and you know that your defense has held the Legion to 13 points, so it looks like they're going to do the wise thing here. They're going to let their defense try to stop the Legion's offense, and they're going to punt the ball.
It did help with field position a little bit, so I can see that, but Alex Zeli has proven he can catch a good ball down the field. So is Corey Carter. Kendall Gilbert extremely quiet in this ball game. This is a good punt. Down to the 5, down to the 4, sliding to stop the ball, and he slid into the end zone. Oh, goodness gracious.
And the special teams for both of these franchises have played really well tonight, and a lot of times have been the difference maker with getting that blocked field goal. And boy, it's just that looked like a gimme to really nail Vancouver down into their own side of the field.
So 1st and 10 of the 20, 4:53 to go. Handoff Sanchez, didn't get much. Chicago's defense still playing around here as Barnes, Rowland, host of defenders there to make the stop. 4:40 and counting.
Yeah, and this is dangerous actually for Vancouver a little bit here. They like to run the ball. They like to go through Sanchez, both as a runner and as a receiver out of the backfield. If they rest on their laurels here, they could give Chicago could allow them to get back into this game pretty easy.
4:20 left, fourth quarter. 2 backs, 2 receivers. Biddix, handoff Hill. Cody Hill breaking through, but another excellent tackle by Boucher Jr. Updated look at Vancouver's rushing attack. Sanchez 7 carries, 12 yards. Cody Hill 12 carries, 42 yards, but still more than J. Calvin Kim's 54 yards on 20 carries when you combine the two. 3rd down and 6. This could be Chicago's stop right here. They'd end up in good field position. 4-3 look. They're going to hand it off to Sanchez. And, Sanchez thought he had the first down, and A.J. Barnes says, not today. Punt coming for Vancouver.
Well, anytime a big play has to be made for Chicago, it's been A.J. Barnes who has made that play. A really good run by Sanchez, an opportunity to put his shoulder into Barnes to tackle him and truck him for the first down. But Barnes makes a way better tackle, stopping him short and giving his offense an opportunity to come in to either tie the game, possibly win it.
That would have taken him this game all the way down to the 2-minute warning more than likely. A tough time speaking tonight, but instead Chicago saves all 3 of their timeouts, and they have the 2-minute warning, and they have good field position for the 35-yard line. Carter out to the 36. And Ron Cochran given 100 bits here recently. Thank you, buddy.
Well, here it is, folks. The Chicago Wildcats probably best chance to get into this game, to tie it or to win it. So call the wives, call the children, call the family members, call the friends. This is the time we all need to get on Twitch here. The last 3 minutes of the game. Let's see if we can boost this audience, because this is going for the goal right here.
2:57 to go in the fourth. 1st and 10 of the 36. Out of the shotgun, 4 wide. King steps up, has to throw on the run, pass is intercepted by Lawson. Pressure was on King, and he may have just thrown the game away.
Never mind. Call the wives, call the children, tell them never mind.
No, it's not over yet.
Lawson, the undrafted cornerback, who had a previously good pass defense in this game, makes a great interception there, but he had his eyes on the ball the entire time, makes a better catch than a receiver would make, and really gives his Legion team an opportunity to put this game away.
2:51 to go in the fourth. Now out of the gun, Biddix looking for more. Biddix is sacked. A loss of 7. Paul Spears bows to the man.
Well, you know, it's always a sad case when you get a sack, but it's actually kind of a mixed blessing because the clock's running. And so as long as that clock's running, you know, it's going the Legion's direction. So it's a 2nd down and 17. Their main objective here, they're not trying to score, maybe just run the clock out.
4 wide. If they were doing that, boy, you would have thought they would have ran on 1st down. And Biddix came out firing, although the passing game, to be fair, has been the better part of Vancouver's offense tonight. Biddix going to throw again. And Biddix to the outside, gets it out to Farrell, and the clock won't stop. Takes us to the 2-minute warning. This is the SFL Network on Twitch, presented by APM Music. You almost kind of get the feeling, Steven, that Vancouver's just trying to shut the door on Chicago. They're done with this.
Yeah, if you're going to pass the ball, and that was the perfect situation to do that. You know, the nice out route, as the receiver knows the game situation, knows to stay in bounds, and runs that clock all the way to 2 minutes. Now it's going to be a case of Chicago using their timeouts.
3rd and 11. And Vancouver has a chance to pin Chicago deep. The handoff goes to Hill, and Hill is wrapped up behind the line. Timeout, Chicago. Loss of a couple more. Back to midfield. Hendershot on the tackle. And Chicago has yet another opportunity.
Well, that's a clear message by Vancouver. You know, we're going to just run the ball here. We're not going to try to take a risk and maybe get an interception that changes the game. We're going to run the ball in this 3rd and long. We're going to force you to use a timeout, and we don't believe that the Wildcats offense can beat our defense.
Snap a little off center, but the punt is away from Kingston from the 15-yard line. Carter spun into a tackle. So Chicago's going to go 84 yards in 1:49, 2 timeouts. The total offensive production for Chicago tonight is 237 yards.
Well, look, you've got a guy in E.T. King that has been to the championship game. So he's taken, you know, his team to Mecca. So this is a guy that you know that he has experience. You know that he's been in these kind of situations time and time again in his career. That's the guy you want under center in this situation.
King, 3-step drop. King fires middle, overthrew Alex Zeli. 2nd down and 10, but a good idea from King. A shout out once again, don't want to forget Scott LaRue on stats. He's done a fantastic job, as he always does. 89 viewers holding strong tonight. It'll be 7 straight broadcasts with a 75 average, so we're appreciative of that. On a Friday night, too. Rating's been great for Friday Night Lights. First SFL season we've had games on Fridays. As King on 2nd down, floats one and almost intercepted by Lopez. 3rd down.
Yeah, I did not like actually that target by King. You know, he tried to loft the ball into his receiver. That's, again, short of the sticks. This is certainly 4-down territory here, but a little lackadaisical by a quarterback here in the end of the 4th quarter. You expect a little bit more umph in that pass.
1:42 to go. Crowd has been good supporters for Vancouver tonight. Straight back for King, and he goes down. Chicago's got to burn a timeout. This is the ball game.
Yeah, that short drop really hurt him. You know, if you're going to do the short drop, you've got to find your target quickly. Clearly, wherever King was looking, his target was covered. He didn't have any recourse but to just tuck the ball in and take that sack.
4th down and 12. Sun setting on Canada Field. And they're fired up 4 wide for E.T. King. 1:39 to go. Chicago trying to keep the game alive, and King is going to be sacked again! Back at the 6-yard line, Red Ross with another takedown, and Vancouver's getting their first win of the season.
Well, you can see, give a lot of kudos here to this Vancouver defense. Able to get strong penetration here, make King uncomfortable in the pocket, make him move back towards more the end zone, and the sack there really, I think, ending any hope of Chicago getting back into this game.
And now, Vancouver and Andy Hamilton doing the respectable thing, taking the knees in the victory formation as opposed to trying to score a touchdown here. Boy, a lot of respect between Shann Varner and Andy Hamilton. They have been through a lot together. They got to meet at the SFL convention for the first time, met their mentor James Klein, and it was, I tell you, it was a powerful thing. Those guys have been buddies for years, and they finally got to meet on the field tonight. While the game didn't have all the fireworks, it certainly had a close competitive matchup.
Yeah, these guys have been friends for years, and obviously both of them so important to what we do here at the SFL. And so it's a nice opportunity when friends like this can go head-to-head and have a night where they invite their families to watch, hashtag Tom Hamilton and hashtag show your nips and all those things from tonight. But, you know, it's good camaraderie. It's friendship. It's family. It's fun. And regardless of the score, everybody has a good time. So, yeah, like you said, I wish we had a little bit more fireworks here. But if you like a defensive game, this is, you know, one to watch. There were plenty of great defensive plays made in this game.
Now, Chicago's only chance is to block another field goal or hope for a miss. Vancouver will have to kick it about 12 seconds left. They already got a blocked field goal tonight, so I don't think I've ever seen two in the same game, but we've seen crazier things.
Yeah, and that would that field goal here, if they take it, well, they will take it. They should take it. That'll make the lead, give them a 10-point lead, and essentially we really would put this game away.
Eric Walsh, second-year man, spent his rookie season in San Francisco. 16 seconds left. 27-yarder is up for Vancouver, and on the money. Vancouver's up 2 scores, and that officially wraps that up. 16-6. Chicago, maybe 1 or 2 last opportunities to go and score.
And Vancouver clearly trending upwards now, have a standing of 1 and 2. Their points per game average will jump since they've scored 16 here. Likely still in the very lower ring of SFL teams, but as you saw, they have the pieces offensively, especially through the air, Cam. If they can get their air game going a little bit more, I think they could be very successful.
So 10 seconds left. Tomorrow night on YouTube, join Colin and Rick Northrup as the Dallas Lobos open up their new, what is that? What's the stadium called down there?
The Hunting Ground.
The Hunting Grounds. The Lobos open that up against the Las Vegas Fury, who need a little bit more fight in them after getting humbled in Sioux Falls last week. That is coming up tomorrow night, 7 Central, 8 Eastern on YouTube. Pass caught over the middle, and it's a fumble! Fumble recovered by Major Key, and that's how the game will end. What a play by Vancouver's defense. That was absolutely outstanding.
Well, what a way to put an exclamation point on this game. You know, there haven't been a lot of fireworks, and honestly, not a lot of turnovers in this game. But we see our first fumble here with 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and a nice job by the defender to get on top of it and secure this win.
Fumble forced by Reed, and E.T. King and the Chicago Wildcats end up turning the ball over twice in the fourth quarter. Next week, the Vancouver Legion at 1 and 2 will host the Sioux Falls Sparrows at Canada Field. They've never beaten Sioux Falls. Chicago, meanwhile, at 0 and 2 will host the London Knights, and they'll need some defense for that, as that is the end of the ball game, 16-6, and really a quality performance from Vancouver as they end up with 358 yards of offense.
Yeah, and thank Mark Biddix for that. Very efficient on the day. It may not show up on the scoreboard, but certainly will show up in the standings. His performance today, and Brett Killian, and that receiving core that also includes Trevor Farrell. Those guys played really well today and made big plays when needed. I think a little bit too reliant on the running game for Vancouver, a little bit too much Jonathan Sanchez, and maybe a little bit too much Cody Hill on the day based on the defense they were playing, but it still went into their favor, and they have their first win of the season. If you're Chicago, you got to be you got to take it on the chin a little bit because you're coming off a bye week. You had a bye week within the first 2 weeks of the season, which is really unusual. So you're still discovering what your identity is. I think they went a little bit heavy with Kim offensively, and when they look to spread out their defense to the passing game, when they can get passes through the wide receivers, they seem to be a little successful there. They need to bolster that. But two good defensive performances, though. Especially, you got to say, A.J. Barnes on the Chicago side of the ball. What a terrific day that he had. Really was a difference maker, and really was the only reason Chicago was in this game.
So Vancouver will try to pull off a big win against Sioux Falls. Wonder if they'd rather have Sioux Falls coming off a loss or a big win in Alaska. We'll find out. Sioux Falls will be a little downtrodden from the road, going to Alaska and Vancouver back-to-back weeks. Marquise Reed forced that fumble, major key on the recovery, and Vancouver off the snide, now 1-2. The official player of the game belongs to Trevor Farrell. 8 catches, 139 yards. He had the game's only touchdown, so I certainly can understand that. Presented by 2K Sports. Stephen, thanks for joining us, and me again and our whole crew here from Canada Field, and we'll see you in Alaska, buddy, and on the plane.
Yeah, not just a hop, skip, and a jump from here.
For all of us at the SFL Network, this has been Friday Night Lights on Twitch. See you next time.
Show me your nips.